Hey, Ryan here. Be showing you how to solve the Rubik's Cube today. Now, there are a lot of videos online that do this. When I was learning, I watched a lot of them, and I found that not one of them actually had all the little nuances you need to solve it from beginning to end. So I'm putting this video together so that you can do it, any person can do it, first try just by following these steps. Couple things to share with you before we kind of get started in case you are an absolute beginner. One is how we orient the cube. Whatever side is facing you, that's the front, obviously, right? Right side, left side, top, bottom, back. We're going to reference the algorithms on how to turn the cube. You're going to either do a clockwise motion or a reverse or a counterclockwise. Counterclockwise we call invert. So regular and invert. This first step in doing this is called getting the white cross. I always orient my cube with the white side up. Here's your white center. So just have that on top. It's as easy as finding a piece that you want. So we want the cross. The cross obviously would be the plus sign. So we need to get these four edges. So all you need to do is just find one. Obviously there's one right here. If I turn that up, it's not oriented in the center spot correctly, right? So we need to orient it in the right spot. So there's your green right there. Easy enough. The first piece is always very simple. Now just find another one. Keep turning. Okay, here's one here. Blue and white. Well, it's kind of flip-flopped, right? So my instruction says, swing the desired edge to the bottom with the white piece facing down. Turn it then to the correct side and then swing it up. So here's what you would do. We need this down here on the bottom layer. So we're going to turn it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to pay a lot of attention to the other pieces at this point. So now it's on the side. If I keep going, well, the white piece is not on the bottom, and that's where we want it. So put it back. We're just going to turn this side to get the blue on the bottom. Okay, don't pay attention to anything else. Get that blue on the bottom. Now you see the whites on the bottom of the puzzle. Now, obviously, this blue piece needs to be underneath this piece. So we're just going to turn it. Now, white's on the bottom. And of course, this is telling you with the white piece facing down, just turn it to the correct side, swing it all the way up. So it's down there. All we're going to do is turn that all the way up. So now it's in the right spot. You got the white with the blue. This other piece we did earlier, green is still there. You always want to make sure that other pieces are where you want them because this does mess them up a little bit. Here's another edge piece with the white. It's got the orange. So according to the instructions, swing the desired edge to the bottom with the white piece facing down. So if this is your front, if we swing this down, you notice we just messed up the green, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Now the white piece is facing down. We're going to put this orange on the orange side with its right color. Now that it's there, just swing it up to the top. Now we'll go back and deal with the green that we messed up though, right? So here's the green and the white piece. We're just going to turn that back up. So now you got three pieces of the plus, of the cross. Let's find this fourth one. Look around. Okay, there it is right there. So that's red with the white. Well, where's the red? It's way over here. So just follow the instructions. Swing it down to where it's on the bottom. Now we're going to pull it over to the red side. And we're going to swing it up. Okay, now obviously we messed it up though, right? Because we had to turn that blue piece. But it's still in the right spot as far as lined up with the blue side, so just swing it up. So you always have to, doing the white cross, you make a move and then you correct it to make sure you didn't mess up the rest of it. So now we've got the white cross. Step 1 seems to get a lot of people stuck. And you can see the sides are all lined up correctly. Green, green, white, orange, blue. Now we got to work on these, we're going to call them edge pieces. So, step 2 is getting the white corners. And here we're going to run into our first algorithms that you want to memorize. These ones are fairly simple though. So, you want to orient the cube. Wherever the white piece is, put it in the corner below where it goes. So for instance, here's your white cross. We've got white, orange, and green. Well, this is white, orange, and blue, so we know it. We don't want it here. Let's turn it. Here's white, orange, and green. So we want it in this lower corner, so we're going to turn it there. Okay. So now it's clearly not oriented correctly, but that's okay. Let's look at our algorithms. If we hold this to where the white piece is facing you, you see it's on the lower left, right? So on the instructions, if the piece is on the left, you're going to do a regular clockwise bottom, a clockwise left, an inverted bottom, and an inverted left. Let's do it in practice, okay? So here's the piece. It needs to end up right here. Regular clockwise bottom. I always like to keep holding it facing me. Clockwise bottom. Here's the left. Clockwise left. Invert the bottom. Invert left. And pow, it pops right into place. That's right where it goes. Now let's find another piece. How about this one? Now this one's interesting, right? Because it's got green, red, and white, which is green, red, and white. So this is actually where that piece goes. It just needs to be up here. If you hold it where the white piece is facing you, it's on the left-hand corner. On the left, we're going to do the same thing. Clockwise bottom, clockwise left, invert bottom, invert left, and pops it right into place. Let's go to the next one. Here's another one. We've got blue, orange, and white. Well, here's blue, here's orange, so it needs to go right there, and white's on top, of course. So, same situation. We're going to do bottom, regular, left, regular, bottom, invert, left, regular. Now we just have one piece left. Let's find it. Okay, this is good. It's on the bottom. So you can see this piece is blue, red, white. Let's put it on the bottom of the blue, red, and white corner. So we got red, blue, white. We're going to position it here. Now, there's a separate, different algorithm. Okay. So you're going to do right invert, right regular, bottom regular. You're going to do that until it's in the right spot. You're just going to keep doing it until it's in there. Like this. So here it is. It's down here. It needs to be here. So I'm going to hold it facing me with this in the right corner. I'm going to go right invert, bottom invert, right regular, bottom regular. Now you see the piece jumped up here, but it's not in the right orientation. Just going to keep doing that. Right invert, bottom invert, right regular, bottom regular. Once again, right invert, bottom invert, right regular, bottom regular. Pow, popped in the right spot. Okay, now you have the first layer. You've got the white. You've got this piece all aligned with where it goes on the edges, and you've got the corners all in the correct spots. Okay, next step. This is step 3, second layer edges. And if you note up here, the note says flip upside down with the yellow side up. So we were here, we're going to turn it upside down. And you can see now the first layer is complete all the way around. Now we got to work on the second layer. Now the second layer, the middle pieces are already where they need to be, so we just have to do these edge pieces. Now, The orientation on this is important. You're going to find a piece on top is where most of these edge pieces are going to be hiding. Some of them will be where they don't belong, like this one. But just find one on top and make sure there's no yellow. We cannot deal with yellow right now. So we got a red piece and a blue. So orient the blue to match where its side. Now you've got the red. It needs to be here, right? It needs to be right there to be in the right spot. You can't just do that or you mess the whole cube up, right? So that's where the algorithm comes into place. So the algorithm, if we're trying to put this piece over here to the right, it's up clockwise, right side clockwise, up invert, right side invert. That's the first half of the formula. Then you do up invert, front invert, up regular, front regular. Sounds more complicated than it is. So let's just do it in practice. So up, regular. That's this way, clockwise. Now you see I'm pushing it away from where it goes. That's kind of how I remember it is. If it's right here and it needs to go to the right, I need to go to the left. And then right, regular. Up invert, right invert. Okay, up invert, front invert, up regular, front regular. Now, it popped into spot. Did not interfere with your bottom or any of the other sides. It doesn't matter what's going on the top with the yellow. Now you just find the next piece. There's no yellow on this one, so let's do this one. Green and red. You need to match these two with the right color, so that doesn't match. Turn it to the red. That piece needs to be, it's got the green, so it needs to be right here. So it's the same one we just did. This algorithm. Up regular, so push it away. Right side, invert, invert, invert the top, invert the front, regular the top, regular the front. Popped it right into spot. Next piece. Let's just do this one. There's no yellow on it. Move it to the blue side. That's your new front. Now this one has to go over here because the orange is over here. So we're going to do this other formula, which is just kind of the reverse of this one. Invert up, invert left, regular up, regular left, regular up, regular front, invert up, invert front. Okay, so it's got to go over here. And like I said, I just remember it's got to go away. So because I want it to go left, I'm going to invert it to the right on the top. So if you do an invert left, an invert up, you're going to do an invert left, up clockwise, left clockwise, up clockwise again, front clockwise, invert up, invert front. There you go. Popped it right into spot. Okay, now we're at a situation where we still got one that needs to be fixed, but it's in the wrong orientation. The colors are backwards. Now, don't just take the stickers off. First, you got to pop it out of there. So we're going to hold it this way. We're going to do this one because we want any piece really to go into that spot. So we're going to go up regular, right, invert, right, invert, front, regular. Okay. So we popped it out. Now we got to find where it popped out to. Here it is. So we're going to orient the green to the front. And now we want it to go over here. It's going to the right. Use that formula. Up regular, right regular, invert, invert, invert again, invert front, up, regular, front regular. Now we've got it in the right spot. So now you can see we've got both layers complete all the way around the cube. Okay, step 4, getting the yellow cross on the top. As you can see, because we have both layers all the way around, now we need to work on the top layer. Getting the yellow cross can be a little difficult, but it's all about knowing that you're going to have one of three designs when you're at this level. You're either going to have this chevron, which has to be this upper left corner. If you're holding the cube this way, it needs to be oriented in your upper left corner. It needs to be top, middle, left. That's a chevron. This is not a correct chevron. The formulas won't work unless it's this design, upper left corner. Or you'll see on the, you're either going to have the center dot or the line or the chevron. Now the line is just 3 in a row. 3 in a row. We don't have the line here. And then the center dot. You might end up with all you have is the dot, and that's okay. It doesn't matter how you hold the cube if you just have the dot. If you have the chevron or the line, you want to orient it to where this is your front and the chevron is in the upper left back side of it at this point. Or if it was the line, it needs to be left to right, not up and down. But we don't have the line. We have the chevron. So we're going to put it oriented that way. Nothing else matters. I call it frou rough. Front, right, up, clockwise, right, up, front, counterclockwise. So here we go. Oh, chevron in the back, front, right, up, clockwise, right, up, front, counterclockwise. Now, you'll see we lost our chevron. That's okay, because now we have the line. Oriented to where the line is left to right. Doesn't matter where you start. Do frou rough again. And you just keep doing frou rough till you get the cross. Front, right, up, invert right, up, front. Okay, now disregard the corners. We don't care about them. You see we got our cross. And that's what happens. You just keep doing frou rough till you get the cross. Okay, and that's frou rough. Now that we've got the yellow cross, we need to make sure that these edges are in the right spot, which obviously they're not. So, next step is the edges. What we're going to do is put one edge in its correct place. We're going to hold it facing the back of the cube, and we're going to repeat this step until all the edges are in the correct spot. So, for instance, I've got the green lined up, orange is not, blue is, red's not. So let's just put the green in the back and do right up, right up, right up, up, right. And you can see where they're inverted. So we're going to do green in the back, right, regular, up, regular, right, invert, up, regular, right, regular, up, regular twice, and then right, invert. Now, we had the green in the back, so let's put it back on green. Green. Now, none of them match, but so let's turn it and see if we can get any others to line up. All right, so blue and red actually line up if we twist it. That means these two are not lined up, and that's okay. But I'm going to switch now to where, now that we got two next to each other that line up, you're going to put the red in the back, and the other one that's correct has to be on the right-hand side for this to work. That's one of the nuances that other videos seem to miss. So one correct in the back, one correct on the right. This is, of course, your front. Run the formula again. Right, up, right, up. Right, up, up, right, invert. Now you've got orange, blue, red, green. So you just keep doing this formula and line them up correctly, back and then back and right, until they all line up. So now what we've got is the cross with the edge pieces in the right place. So now we need to get the corners in the right place. Okay, typically once we get these yellow edges in the right spot, the corners are not going to be in the right spot, but that's okay. We got the edge, 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 edge. But if we got blue, red, and yellow, where clearly that is not in the right spot. Not even on the right colors. This one's got two of them right. You got orange and yellow, which goes here, but the green is not lined up. This one's the same. This one actually happens to be in the right spot. Doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you'll have all 4 in the right spot, just in the wrong orientation. The formula is the same. So let's go to the next step. Yellow corners. Now, this is a 2-step. First, get the corners in the right spot, but they will not be aligned correctly, which is what we have here. Start by holding with any already correct corner facing you on the right-hand side, if you do have one. Now, all that means it doesn't mean correct as in exactly correct. It means in the right spot, maybe just not in the right orientation, which we don't have quite yet. Once you get one in the correct spot, place it on the right side facing you. Right side facing you. And do this formula. Up, right, up, left, up, right, up, left. Except we change the inversions. Repeat this until all corners are in their correct spot. Again, they're not going to be aligned correctly. So, first we got to get them aligned correctly. This one is correct. We'll put this in the corner facing us. And we're going to do up clockwise, right clockwise, invert up, invert left. Up clockwise, invert right, invert up, regular left. You see that's still in the right spot. That's still in the wrong spot. Wrong spot, wrong spot. So we're going to do it again. This is correct. Keep it facing you in the upper right corner. Up, right. Up, right, up, left. Up, right, up, left. Okay. Now, this is what I'm talking about. They're the right colors. They're just in the wrong spot. Same with this one. Right colors, wrong spot. These two popped into the right place. That's fine. So, here's one of the nuances. We can go to the next step. And the next step is the home stretch. So, we've just got to orient these two correctly. This is how we do it. We're going to hold with one of the corners that's not right in the upper right corner facing. If you're facing you, it's in the upper right corner. We're going to do right invert, bottom invert, right regular, bottom regular. And we're going to do that until that pops into the right spot. And if you do it, you might have to do it 4 times, but it will pop into the right spot. So, don't worry about how messed up the cube becomes. This is the key here. Facing you. Right invert, bottom invert, right regular, bottom regular. Now, it's obviously totally messed up. Don't worry. Do it again. Right invert, bottom invert, right regular, bottom regular. Now, you see it pops in the right spot, but you've messed up the cube. Don't freak out. This is a nuance not explained in most videos. Hold the bottom 2 rows. Now that this is in the right spot, we need to deal with this one. So turn it to where just the top piece, just the top side level is facing you. And repeat right, bottom. So right invert, bottom, invert, right regular, bottom regular. Just keep doing it. Right, invert, right regular, bottom invert. No, bottom regular. Right invert, right, bottom, right, bottom, right, bottom. Look what happened. Other than one little twist, voila. You are a cube master. That's it. Easy as that. Easy. Fairly complicated. If you remember all those, once you've done this 100 times, these algorithms will stick in your mind and you will amaze your friends and family. Have fun cubing. That's it. Bye-bye.